Hey everybody, Scotty V here. Just going ahead and I'm going to give you part two of what's going on. Got about an hour left of the episode 156 of From A to Arbitration. And let's see, we're going to go ahead and pick up where we left off. David Nobel obviously being interviewed by Corey Walton in first 3-part. First 3 hour. Jesus, freaking starting to freaking get brain rot. Anyway, Mr. Noble was talking about how to hold management accountable, which is one of the questions that Corey was asked directly. And he says through court action and the National Labor Relations Board. Now, moving on to Discord questions. A question came up about rural and subcontracting. Well, David believes that there is absolutely no need for rural carriers to have a union and for us to have a union. He believes that it would be in both unions' benefit to merge. So he would encourage both to merge, create positions for the rural carrier union officers for X amount of time. Now, will that actually happen? I don't know. I think that there are individuals in power that are a little bit too headstrong, in my opinion, but that's just me. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Let's talk about pay. He wants to, once again, eliminate all CCAs and have an immediate $6 an hour increase. He's also talking about when it comes to our job, the law states we need to be comparable to the private sector, and he would use UPS as a direct comparison. And he would actually ask an arbitrator to go ahead and provide that kind of relief. He's talking about a top out of $98,000 to $99,000 a year, 100% of our healthcare benefits paid for, and reaching top pay tier in 4 years, not 13. I kind of agree that you should reach top pay pretty quick doing this job and not have it drug out for a considerable amount of time. I myself, I'm only about 2/3 or so. No, actually, no, about 3/4 of the way up. I've been here almost 10 years already. Let's see. He was also talking about technology and people doing research at National, and that there's only one person, according to what he was saying, and he would like to increase that by 4-fold. And he would also like to see a computer model that can actually draw USPS's finances so they have actual real-time and up-to-date data, which will actually help. And I would assume that this would be when it came to bargaining and allow the union to support the Postal Service far more than what they're doing now, is what I believe he's trying to say. Also, some of the questions that he is answering, they are somewhat vague and it's difficult to get an actual direct answer. So I'm going to go ahead and encourage all of you to listen to episode 156 of From A to Arbitration, which is only the first part. He does believe in opening bargaining. He is a big supporter. When Vince Zambrano was president of the NALC, he said that Vince would actually regularly record the sessions that they had with USPS during the negotiations. I agree. We should be doing that same thing. Talking about the cease and desist remedy. David Nobel as well as Corey Walton both say that it's incredibly important. David Nobel also believes that escalated remedies are not enough. He also believes that charging them with bad faith bargaining would be something that we could definitely work very well with. He believes it'll also better our position. Going back to 2022, a question was asked, why didn't he come on the podcast? Well, David openly admits that he didn't know what a podcast was. Talking about getting our bodies out in the street, rallies. He says rallies are definitely important and that they need to be more numerous. He talked a little bit about route adjustments. I'm going to say this right now. To me, it is a little bit unclear about what he was saying, but he thinks that it's a bad idea. And please forgive me if I'm butchering this, but it sounds like he said it's a bad idea for the union to be involved in the route adjustment process. He believes going straight to the grievance procedure when it comes to route adjusting is kind of what I'm getting from him, but once again, it's unclear. He was talking about JCAM revisions, specifically about overtime, because he doesn't want to go ahead and talk about every little thing he wants to see changed. He was saying that, carriers not on the OTDL may not be required to work more than 10 hours in a day on their own route is something he was talking about. I honestly, I think that was kind of pulled out of his fifth point of contact or his ass. For those of you that are not familiar with military lingo, once again, he's a big fan of making sure that no scattered scanner data or also known as Section 134 of the M39, no covert techniques can be used in any way, shape, or form against a letter carrier, including for the purposes of discipline. Corey is definitely a big supporter of that as well. I am as well. I don't agree with you using that backhanded shit. Get off your fat ass and get out in the street and do your damn job. And make sure that you're actually doing it, not sitting on your phone, pecking away like the idiots that you are in management. But I digress. I'll go back to this. Talking about the DRT backlog, as you know, that there are thousands of cases that we are backlogged across this country, and the B teams are doing the best they can. He was asked, how are you going to address it? Well, he was talking about activating more DRT teams, add personnel at the step B, which is step 3, to help eliminate the backlog. Corey also agrees with that. Another question came up with him saying that, hey, David, are you going to stay out of the way if somebody else is running? Well, he also says that it just depends. It depends on, do they agree with him? Are they on the same page? Do they have the carrier, in mind when they're doing this stuff? That's what I'm getting out of this. But once again, by all means, if you want to listen to the nearly 3-hour conversation, it'll definitely keep you company while you're out there on your route. He talks about accountability of our leadership at national. I don't know what the hell he was trying to say, because I'm confused. I'm scratching my damn head right now. Drives me crazy. To me, it's a really simple question. The only other thing that he said is, well, all we have right now are the elections for our national officers and Article 10, to hold our officers accountable for the things that they do. He did say that he does not have a better option right now, which I can understand. All right. He also said it was a bad idea for Brian Renfro to be on the executive board, especially when other members of the executive council knew of his alcoholism and his problem, and that action should have been taken right away. Well, I agree with that. Let's see. David also addressed the NALC being his cause of the last 49 years. He believes that he has a clear understanding of what is going on, and he believes that he can actually help change the direction of the union. He also said that he would like, and this is just paraphrasing, he would like an opportunity to expose himself more to the membership, to get more information out there, as well as address anyone's not so much opinion of him or the things that he or she has heard about him, because he does want to do that, and I actually think that he's being legitimate and genuine. No one's going to go through all these years of problems and lawsuits and fighting only to be slandered and then not be heard. That right there, that isn't good. But once again, you can't blockbust someone like that just to try and make them panic. It's wrong. You can't do that. We need to be more open-minded about the individuals. He also goes ahead and he states that he does support Nicole Ryan, Christopher Jackson, James Henry. He definitely supports Corey for business agent of Region 8. He does say that it really seems like it kind of struck a nerve with him when it came to the charges Mr. Jackson filed against President Renfro. I think that he does have quite a bit of, I want to say, love for the letter carrier. It really does seem like he does have that. And, he tends to support people that are on the right side. They do the right thing, integrity. Here's a good one. Corey agrees with this right away, and I think all of us do. Any member of management that falsifies information should be terminated immediately. I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. And I hope all of you out there too. He goes on to address Renfro supporting DeJoy in the 10-year plan. He says that the 10-year plan is a crockpot scheme and it's nuts to eliminate stations and then add travel time to the carrier's routes. And he says that it must be opposed. I agree with that. Let's see. I don't even know what the hell I was writing there. Let's see. All right. So he was also talking about arbitration. That we have a 3 arbitrator panel. You have the Postal Service's arbitrator, you have the union's arbitrator, and then you have Mr. Nolan, who is the neutral arbitrator. Well, Mr. Noble's calling bullshit on that. There's no reason why arbitration shouldn't have begun already. And here's what he says. He says that it's BS. The United States Postal Service has an arbitrator that is an attorney. That attorney is on staff with USPS, and therefore they are an employee. Just in turn with the union's arbitrator, which is an attorney that's on staff that works for the NALC. Well, Mr. Nolan is back. He's back from his vacation, which begs the question that we need an answer to. If both staff attorneys, which are arbitrators on both sides, are there, they're on staff, which means they're able, available, and willing to work. Well, if Mr. Nolan's back, where the hell's the damn arbitration date? No, Noble's pretty much saying bullshit, and I'm saying bullshit as well. I'm sure all of you out there are saying bullshit. By the way, I see I actually got a couple of people viewing. How are you? I hope you're having yourselves a nice day. Let's see. He goes into the 1993 charges that were filed against him, which was done by, they ended up having like a special committee of 2,000 people. He's making a claim saying that he wasn't able to present his evidence and that the committee excluded him during their investigation. And he claims that it was inaccurate and an incomplete report. The question of him bringing 20 years plus of legal action against the union was brought up, and I'm going to try and shorten this up because I was having problems following it. It really seemed like a long story. He claims that there was a major interpretive issue that was going on. He never sued the NALC directly. He sued the 12 officers directly. Unfortunately, those officers filed a motion in court that was to get him to join the NALC as a defendant. Even though he opposed it, the judge granted the motion for the 12 officers, and ultimately a lot of this went away. Talking next about why Mr. Noble continuously runs. He specifically addressed in 2014 that he believed that Fred Rolando actually betrayed the membership, talking about the creation of CCAs, Table 2, and things like that. And he felt that he needed to run. He claims that he's not a guy that likes union politics. Freaking politics suck no matter what. You're never going to be able to please everyone. Hell, pleasing the majority is hard enough. Sometimes it's just hard to please a couple of people. We all have those individuals in our lives, whether it be within the union or you have that one carrier that's just a pain in the backside every day. Anyway, that'll do it for part 2. I'm going to freaking take a break because I don't think I can listen to too much more of this because it's a lot of information to take in. Anyway, I hope you all have yourselves a good one. I will be listening to the rest of this tomorrow, and then I'll put part 3 up. I'll probably just go live or whatever. Anyway, have yourselves a good one, and thank you very much for viewing. I really do appreciate you. You take care, be safe, and have yourselves a great weekend.